Cold calls to close deals. Cold calling apartment owners for profitable real estate deals. We actually got our first apartment deal via cold calling. We spent our weekend, specifically Saturday, cold calling apartment owners every single weekend. Through this time, we was finally able to get a seller that was actually open to hearing an offer. We presented our offer and he accepted. There's a lot of stuff in between there, but just know we closed with some partners of ours. It was one of the best experiences starting Monopoly Borough brand. And so we do advocate for cold calling to get direct to these sellers.
One of the main reasons for that is because there's a lack of direct communication when you're trying to usually deal with apartment owners. If you're online or if you're working through their broker, it's very difficult to have these conversations directly with these individuals. And more specifically, there's two key reasons that it is difficult, or a lot of people don't cold call. Those two reasons are, one, convincing property owners to actually sell their properties when you actually do get in touch with them is not always the easiest thing. Usually, if those of you who have been cold calling for residential leads, there is some difference in having conversations with individuals who own multifamily commercial properties, usually 5 units and up, versus a single family home. The conversations are usually different. A lot of times these buildings aren't being purchased by themselves. They could be purchased using hedge funds, or the individuals that own these properties might be high earners in different fields. And then the second thing is that a lot of people just are fearful of rejection and getting a no when talking to individuals or picking up the phone and making a cold call. So for those two reasons, a lot of times people decide to go against this particular marketing channel.
Even with those difficulties, there are still ways that you can have a competitive advantage by cold calling. One of those ways is that you're going to get to the owner before they even list the property. Think about it. Multifamily commercial properties, they are very high ticket items. They may not want to have a realtor every time taking away extra money from the top. So you being direct to seller is, one, gives you a benefit to them. It may save them some money on commission fees. Second, you begin to establish a great professional reputation. You're going to be talking to sophisticated investors throughout your cold calling time. They may not all sell to you, but guess what? You may be a partner in the future. You may be able to take some out to lunch, learn about what they do, hear about the market trends, or just have really good conversations. A lot of these cold calling sessions may not end out with a sale at the end of the day, but a lot of them can turn into a great relationship where you can actually benefit from.
So there you have it. I mean, obviously there are many reasons as to why people don't do cold calling and many reasons as to why people do. But like Jamil mentioned, cold calling got us our first apartment deal, a $5.6 million 52 unit building in a Class A neighborhood here in Metro Detroit. We, at the time, were a part of a mastermind group of apartment enthusiasts, or people that were looking to get into apartment investing, or people that were already experienced. We were in this group and we were picking up knowledge and making relationships and, networking with these individuals. And it was at that point where we said, enough is enough. We can't let our fear overcome our ambition to want to be apartment owners, because this has always been a part of our goal in our progression throughout real estate. As you've listened to and learned in other videos on this channel, we started wholesaling, but the goal was always to get into commercial real estate. So what we use from that mastermind group is like, hey, how do we get a list to cold call? What days are we going to cold call? How do we get a script? And how do we get in front of these owners? So that's what we did. After we left the mastermind group, Jamil and I, we set up an appointment, or we set up a meeting with each other to figure out all those details. And we figured out how we were going to get a list. Now for you, you might have Reonomy or CoStar or List Source, and you can go in and pull your list. We have videos on that, on how to pull a list for those type of, or from those list providers. Or you might know someone that's willing to offer you a list that you can call. So that's what we did. We got a list that we could call. We determined what day and time we were going to call, and we stuck to that time and date. For us, it was every Saturday at 9 o'clock. And then from that point, you either want to figure out if you're going to use a auto dialer, or if you're going to just grind it out and do it manually by just punching your, the numbers in your phone every week. We decided to go the manual route. It's a lot cheaper that way. It's more work, but it saved us some money, and we just found a spot to dial this list every Saturday at 9 o'clock. And then about 3 weeks after that, into that cold calling, we talked to the owner of the deal that we eventually end up buying. Now we'll go more into that deal in a future video in terms of the specifics and how we were able to negotiate and actually buy that deal, because we did not buy that deal by ourselves. We have a multitude of partners with us that helped us close that deal. But that was really the reason why we started the brand, because it showed us that, for one, we could step through the real estate process or real estate techniques and strategies and get to multifamily investing, but also showed us that there's power in team economics within multifamily, because we wouldn't have been able to close this deal without our partners, and our partners in our GP partners would not have been able to close this deal without our LP partner. And again, we'll get into more of those details in later videos, but we just wanted to come on again. We're showing you guys what real estate looks like through the lens of people who are actually doing it. Not perfect by any means, but we are actually doing what we're talking about.
Everybody's a great point. Cold calling was the way that we got our first deal. It worked for us, but there's a lot of strategies that work.